What's up, everybody? This is Ryan from FistFullofPotions.com. I'm here to talk to you about buying a console on day one. Alright, so every time there's a new console release, there's always somebody out there saying, don't buy the console on launch day. There's always a different reason for it. Sometimes it's because of bugs or glitches, which is sometimes a fair argument to have because obviously we saw with the 360 and the PS3 wasn't without fault, and even the Wii wasn't without fault within the first couple of years. Then there's also the argument of there's no games, there's no support for the console, and there's just a really bad financial investment. That's usually the most important argument that they make, is that it's not cost effective for what you're doing. If you're going to spend $200, $300, $400, $500 on a console, you want something in return for it. And if you buy it on day one, you have a console and nothing to do with it. But I think that's the wrong way of looking at buying a launch day console. Because the type of person who buys a console day one isn't necessarily the type of person who is ready to buy all the games and wants to just sit there in front of the TV all day for the console. I think the person who buys the console day one is the type of person who wants the experience of buying that console day one, being there day one, being a part of the movement, the beginning of this new generation of electronic devices. And this happens in all different types of fields, for phones, for toys, whatever the case is. You want to be there for the experience, to be a part of the first run of things, if you will. I guess the best example I can make is that the most financial sound way of buying a movie is to wait for it to come out on Blu-ray or DVD, buy it there, then you own it forever. You can watch it as many times as you want, and it was the best way to spend your money on going to see the film, if you will. However, that's not the way that a lot of people watch movies. A lot of people go out for the day one premiere of the film or the midnight showing of the movie. Now, if you think about the midnight showing of the movie, is definitely not the most cost-effective way of doing this. It's a severe waste of your time. It's much more expensive typically than buying the DVD or the Blu-ray if you're going with multiple people. If you're going to buy food or popcorn at the theater, it's far too expensive. And when you think about it, why would you go to a midnight premiere when you can just wait a couple of months, buy it on DVD, and watch it there? Granted, there are a lot of people who are agreeing with me and saying, yeah, well, that's what I do. That's why I don't do that. But for the people that actually go to the midnight release, those are the type of people who go to the midnight console release. Because they're not there for the financial investment. They're not there because spending $500 on this console seems like a sound investment for them. They're there because they want to wait in line with their friends in anticipation for something. And they want to discuss the excitement of what's going to happen. What are you going to do first when you get your console? What menu are you going to go into? What game are you going to play first? What button is the first button you're going to press on the controller? That anticipation and that excitement is why you're there. You're there with your friends and you're having that experience, and that experience is something you're going to remember for a long time. So with that said, you shouldn't really hold the value of buying your console day one solely on the fact of how much money you're going to invest and how much you're going to get in return of it. The difference between buying a console day one and going to see a movie at midnight is going to see a movie at midnight, you pay that, you get the experience, you walk away, and then you're done. If you want to experience that film again, or you want to do something related to that movie again, you do have to pay money again to see that film. With a video game console, day one, you pick up the console, you now own the console for the life of that console's existence. So you could wait a year or two and pick up the console and still have the same experience with the same game that came out 2 years later, or you could pick it up day one and have the same experience 2 years later. So being there day one for a console isn't about the financial investment. It isn't about the games being there, the software updates being there, the apps being there day one. It's about being a part of the movement, being a part of the beginning of a new console generation, being there to discuss with your friends and just experience that beginning. It's the same reason why you buy a video game day one. You want to play online with your friends day one. You want to experience the game day one. You want to discuss it when everyone else is discussing. So if you find yourself to be a technology enthusiast, which a lot of video gamers are, it's just nature for you to want to adopt something day one. And if you want to be a part of that and you think that it's important to you to, be there day one to really discuss the console and just have that experience, then you shouldn't hold yourself back because you're thinking it's a bad financial investment, because it's the same financial investment you're going to make in 2 years from now. It's just you're making it earlier and you're making a greater investment, if you will, in time. I mean, yeah, you could wait. You could save maybe $100 off the console when the price drops. You could put that money towards something else right now, and you could buy the console later. And financially, you will save money if you wait. But you will never be able to get that experience of being there day one ever again. I've purchased multiple consoles day one. I've been there at launch, waiting 9, 10, 12 hours for the system to come out, coming home, plugging it in, playing the system, and falling asleep in front of it out of exhaustion. And it's one of the best experiences that I can remember having with that console, even outside of some of the AAA best-selling games on that console. There's a couple of systems that I missed the launch for that I kind of regret, and they were very important consoles to me as well. I'm not going to go into detail with which consoles they were, because that's really irrelevant to the discussion, but the point is that looking back, I really wish that I did participate in the release of these consoles that I care about, because that experience outweighs a lot of the other experiences that I've had with the system. So if you find yourself interested in systems and you want to adapt technology, I highly recommend buying a console day one. Forget the financial investment, it's the emotional investment that you're getting that you'll never be able to get again. But that's just my take on this topic, and I'm interested to hear what you think. Do you think it's a smart idea? Do you think the emotional investment outweighs the financial investment? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to continue this conversation with you in the comment section. So anyways, I hope I've helped you make your decision on if you're going to adapt the console day one or not, and I will see you guys next time.